Welcome to the Be Invincible podcast. This isn't going to be perfect, and I'm saying that now because it's my first time recording a podcast. I have no idea what to do. This background isn't also suitable, but I'm just going for it, because if you don't go for it, there's never going to be a right time. You're never going to grow. You're never going to get out of your comfort zone. So raw, honest, truth is what you've got here. So this podcast, the Be Invincible podcast, is all about going from invisible to invincible. And I am your host, Misha Patel. I'm doing this podcast because it's my story. I've gone from being invisible, feeling invisible, to invincible. I've built a resilience through healing trauma, through breaking cultural barriers, and from really understanding what is happening inside of me as a result of what's happening to me. And today, I want to talk a little bit about blame. So I originally wanted to call this podcast The Blame Game, but sadly, there's already one out there. And the blame game wasn't about blaming other people. It wasn't a game show either, right? It was all about taking accountability for yourself. Because you can't change anyone else. Blaming them isn't going to make any difference, right? However, you can take accountability for yourself. And that might be the way you felt because of someone else's actions. You can't change your actions, but you can change the way that you feel about it. So this podcast is all about you reclaiming your power. No longer giving it away to other people. Take them off the pedestal. When you put someone on a pedestal, you're giving them power over you. But when you take them off the pedestal, they just become another person, just like you. So I'm going to be talking about all of these different topics. Feel free to leave any questions that you have and you want me to answer in the comment section. I'm new to YouTube, I was going to say chat box. It's my Zoom version of me coming in. So yeah, leave them in the chat, the comment section, and I will do my best to answer them in the next video. But today I do want to talk about blame because I think it's really, really important. When you want to reclaim your power, you really have to take accountability for yourself and your actions. And a lot of the times when you're upset, when you're angry, it's not at other people, it's at a past version of you. And that's really, really important to understand. When we put the power in someone else's hands and we give them our feelings, we give them our heart, they can destroy it and they can do whatever they want with it. But what we need to do is we need to take our hearts back and we need to lock them in a cage. It doesn't mean no one else will get the key. But when you lock your heart in a cage, you learn to look after it without relying on other people to look after it for you. I am talking from experience, and if you don't know me, then I started my healing journey about 7-8 years ago. 3 days after my little one was born, my ex-husband at the time actually told me he doesn't think our marriage is going to work. And we are in a good place now, by the way, but at that time, we both had unhealed wounds that we hadn't dealt with, trauma from our childhoods. And I don't know if he's dealt with his, but for me, this completely shattered and broke me. I never thought that my marriage would end. However, within the next 4 years, I found out that he was cheating with somebody who I knew and eventually did leave me for her. They are now happily married. We've got a good relationship, and I wanted to put that in there because me taking accountability and working on myself actually allowed me to repair a relationship with people who I once hated. Okay, I hated what they put me through. I hated what they put my children through. But why did I choose to do the work? Not because I wanted to fix anything with them, because it wasn't my job to fix it. Okay, but because I wanted my children to have their parents both in the same room and not arguing with each other. I wanted my children to heal from the wounds that they had because their parents were divorced. Okay, they knew what had happened. They knew the reasons why. I didn't initially tell them, and that's a whole nother podcast because it actually messed them up. However, what I do want to talk about today, right, is the blame game in a sense that I had to take accountability for my feelings. I had to take accountability for the way that other people's actions had left me feeling, but also what had led me to stay in that relationship. It took me 4 years to leave and 3 times going back. Okay, 4 years. That's a very long time. And I know there's some people out there who are still stuck in this after 20, 30, 40 years. So I hear you, I see you, and you are not alone. But I just want to say that what changed my life was me reclaiming my power. I had to really understand that, yes, I could blame them forever for the hurt and pain that they'd caused me, but that wasn't going to make me feel any better. I had to work on my feelings. I had to take accountability for the way that I was feeling. And that is what changed my life. So the blame isn't to shame you. Okay, it isn't to make you feel bad about yourself for all the things that you didn't say and you didn't do, because we've all been there. You know, I stayed for so long because I did blame myself. I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I wasn't a good wife, and I'd let him down. Okay, I'd let my children down. I wasn't a good mother. I wasn't a good daughter. I'd let my family down. However, I didn't let anyone down apart from myself. And when I really started looking at the traits that caused me to stay in this relationship, I was a people pleaser. I was thinking more about other people than myself. I had a lack of self-love, self-respect, self-value, self-esteem. Okay, all of these things are what caused me to stay, because I felt like I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't important, and I wasn't lovable. And I had given my heart to someone and expected him to look after it. Okay, I expected him to make me feel good about myself, not just him, other external circumstances as well. The things that I bought, everything that I was looking for was external validation. But when I started looking at myself and when I stopped blaming other people, I actually got to take accountability for myself. And that is what changed my life. So it isn't to shame you, it isn't to make you feel guilty, and it isn't to make you blame yourself, but it is about taking accountability for the past version of you who didn't know what you know now. So I'm going to keep this episode short. It's my first one. It's a tester. I'm putting it out there. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'd be more than happy to record some episodes and answer all of your questions. If you're already in my space, then thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends and family. And I will be bringing you more insights into ways that you can self-heal, because this is what this podcast is all about. And if you'd like to know more, please come and follow me on my Instagram. It's at Misha Patel X. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.